Good morning and happy Tuesday. Sorry, haven't spoke yet today until this. So each day we're building. So the first day of the new year, we talked about setting goals, be very specific. Yesterday we talked about taking massive action. And did you write down your whys? Remember, the why is much more important than the how. Big enough why, you're going to figure out the how. So now, third thing is you got to have sensory acuity. So you know your goal with specificity, you know your why, and you take massive action towards the achievement of that goal. Now, you need to pay attention to see, are your actions taking you closer to your goal, or are you going further away from your goal? And that is sensory acuity. Being acutely sensitive to, am I getting there or am I not getting there? Now, my favorite metaphor of this is the airplane going from Chicago to Hawaii. Ironically, this morning, my dad and his wife are getting on an airplane to go from Chicago to Hawaii. Now, when they get in that plane and the pilot gets in the plane and all the people get in the plane, do they know where they're going? Absolutely. They know they're going to Hawaii. Do they know with specificity where they're going? Absolutely. It's not to Hawaii, it's to a specific island. And is it anywhere on that island? No, it's to the airport. And is it anywhere in the airport? No, it's to the runway. And is it anywhere in the runway? No, it's at the end of the runway where you can safely land the airplane and stop so that everybody gets there safely. So they know with great specificity where they're going. Now, do they know exactly how they're going to get there? Now, they got an idea, but they don't know exactly how they're going to get there. But what's the first thing they do? They get in the plane and they take massive action. They take off. The plane hits all of its jets and away they go. Now, as they're up in the air, this is sensory acuity. When they're up in the air, they have to continually adjust because things are going to happen. Winds are going to come, a storm might pop up, something could go wrong with the plane, and they have to adjust with regards to that. Let's say they lose an engine. Okay, but all of these things are sensory acuity. Are you headed in the right direction? Now, what happens if they look at their instruments and rather than heading west, they're heading east? Okay, well, now they're going further away from their goal. They're not getting closer. So, as you take massive action, you got to measure. You got to pay attention and just take a look at the results that you're getting. So, like, let's say your result is you want to gain 20 pounds of lightness. Okay, well, then you need to regularly measure. You need to pay attention and keep track of what it is that you're doing. You got to get on the scale once a week. You got to do your measurements. You got to take care, you got to do the fat content. You don't just take on a particular eating plan and then don't pay any attention. You keep track if you want to take care of your finances. Let's say that you want to get out of all of your debt. Okay, well, the first thing you got to do is you got to look at your debt. You got to see what's there and you got to face it. And then you got to keep track. Every now and then you got to stop and say, okay, am I getting closer to my goal or am I getting further away? And if you're getting further away, you need to pay attention to that. Now, that doesn't mean that you quit, and that doesn't mean that you change what you're doing immediately. Sometimes it takes a little while. Losing weight is a great example of that. You can be doing the program correctly for a long period of time, and sometimes you can hit these plateaus, okay? But you still have to measure as you go. You have to pay attention and see, am I getting closer to my goal or am I getting further away? And consistently monitor your progress. It's kind of like when you own a business. If you own a business and you don't keep score, how do you know if you're going to win or lose? If you're playing a sport and you don't keep score, how do you know if you're going to win or lose? Well, the same is true with your life. You got to keep score. So that's why the specificity of your outcome is so important. So as you're going through, you can take a look and say, okay, am I getting closer or am I not getting closer? Don't hope. Okay, this isn't about I hope that this happens. This is about I'm going to create this outcome no matter what. This outcome is going to happen. I'm going to generate this result. And so now you work the intentional life, designing your own life so you don't become part of somebody else's design for theirs. That means that you pay attention on a regular basis. You keep track, you write it down, you look and see your progress. So that way we can adjust as we need to adjust. So step 3, after you take massive action, is you have sensory acuity. Pay attention to whether or not you're getting closer to your goal or you're getting further away, and keep track of all of that. And then tomorrow, we'll talk about what do you do as you see all of those things. Let's say hi to everybody. A bunch of people are on. Valerie, great to see you. My great uncle Bill, Mr. Drehobel down in Florida. Steve, great to see you. Linda is on. Jim is on. And Ludris is on. Good to see everyone. Thank you very much for being on here this morning. Thanks for watching. Let's all take care of each other. We're in this together.